think that's on the registry, and no one's. I don't know if anyone.
Wait,
missed that yet.
I zoned out until now. You have a registry?
Yes.
Oh, you should share that.
Okay.
You should share it with Doorcast listeners.
Welcome back to the Comedy Store Doorcast. I am your host, Luke Schwartz, and I have a bunch of door guys with me this week that are pretty good. To my left, new guy, Angie Stroud.
Hello.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
And then across, one of the editors of the Door Guy Daily, Logan Guntzelman.
Hello.
And then next to her is Jeffery Jetski Johnson, the other editor of the Door Guy Daily.
There we go.
Yep, hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
Well,
as
we
always, we have
There's nothing new.
A show at 10:30 on Fridays in the Belly Room. Fridays 10:30 in the Belly Room is called Up Next. You should come to that show. If you mention the Doorcast at the door, you get in for free. Also, if you tip at the door, we will mention you on the podcast. Shoot, I got a text from someone. I forgot.
Big Bad Brad tipped me yesterday.
Oh yeah,
or 2 days ago.
Yeah, Big Bad Brad. Shout out to patron saint of the podcast, and then Mike Z and Shannon always as well.
Do you know
Shout
them
out
yet,
Van
Angie?
Corona.
I have met Big Bad Brad. He introduced himself as Big Bad Brad.
There you go. Yeah, well, he didn't give himself the nickname, so it's okay. I think he can call himself that now.
And he's 35.
Is that the guy who works for the post office and wears a leather jacket? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is him. And Kareen Toka, shout out for the tip, like $20. Thank you, Kareen Toka. $20 at the door. Renee got to pocket that one, so you know.
Luke and I just had a toka in the parking lot.
We didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
It was CBD, but I'm still high from it.
Your tolerance isn't built up after being on the road in a fancy tour for.
I did
the
smoke
last
weed one day.
Wow.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
What a blazing stoner.
Yeah, I know. I can't smoke much, especially before I go on stage, because I'll forget everything.
Yeah, no one's saying smoke
Before.
right. Yeah.
That's not the only rule. It's not like if you smoke weed on tour, you have to do it before your set.
The only time I smoke weed on tour
Yeah.
is right before
Do
I go
it
on stage.
after.
Never after the show when we're all hanging out.
She just drinks water and Gatorade and takes vitamins after the show, but
Yeah,
she gets fucked up before.
That's stupid.
We all sleep on a bus together, and they're like bunk beds, and I get so paranoid when I'm high now. I think I'm like reversed. Most people get less paranoid when they smoke. I'm reversed.
That's not true.
Some
but
people
go on.
get pretty.
Yeah.
I feel like as people get older, a lot of people quit because they get paranoid.
Some people get paranoid, and some people are chill and cool like me.
I wish I was more of a Luke, but one of the guys on the bus has night terrors, and
You won't say who?
I'm sorry to laugh at
his
that.
name's McCone. Our producer knows him. She might be able to vouch, but Santino's calling me right now. Should I answer?
Yeah, you should answer. Yeah, just tell him you're on the Doorcast.
Hello?
Hey, they already called me. They already called me for this one time.
You're on it right now.
Oh my God.
Thanks for calling in, Andrew. That's nice of you. Good to see you.
I've done this twice already, haven't I?
Well, this is number 2, and we're so honored to have you.
Well, let me tell you what I'm mad about.
Yeah, go for it.
I bought a new computer, and then the guy at the store was like, "Oh yeah, man, you can get the trade-in whenever." Then I go to try to trade in, and they're like, "We can only give you a gift card. They won't give me like credit back." And I was like,
God,
what
we're
do
the
I have
genesis
to do?
of a
And they're
new
like, "You should
bit.
probably go in." So I have to go into the Apple store.
Oh my God.
I have,
You know what
I
this
have to
reminds me of? It reminds me of the door guy money.
But he came through with that.
Yeah, I know you came through, but they gave you all these extra steps you had to do.
I know. Let me tell you who else thanked me, of those that have thanked me.
Yeah.
Joel Jimenez, my guy.
Yeah.
Joel, yeah. Shout out Joel.
Joel came up to me and shook my hand, said thank you, and I gave him a big hug and a kiss. So shout out to him because he's the fucking man.
That's awesome. It's been burning in my soul. I'm wanting to tell everybody how come nobody's thanked him.
Can I? Is this a good
This
time
is
to
a
say
good-
thank
better
you?
time to say-
Thank you. I just want to say thank you very much, legitimately.
who is that?
This is Logan.
Logan, I think you're great, Logan. And
Thank
I saw Logan-
And the thank you wasn't forced at
I
all.
saw Logan the other night, and Logan is very chill, very low key.
Yeah.
Logan doesn't like to look at me when I'm there.
It's not. I don't like eye
and
contact with anybody, but I should.
Yeah, but here's what I think it is, Logan. Here's what I think it is. I think Logan says, I'm not a Santino fan. I don't need to look at this guy when I see him. He doesn't mean much to me. He's not a headliner I like or respect. He's a guy that I'll step
But
up
that
when
means
I
you're
get up
chasing
there.
her approval, right?
But I'm right, though. She's like, she does this thing where she's like, I'm funnier than these whack-ass headliners, just like Santino. And when I'm headlining, I won't even look. I'll give him a bad intro. That's what I think.
Oh,
Wow.
What intro would you give Santino if you brought him up in the main room?
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
This guy's okay, I guess.
Not you, Luke. Logan.
This guy's okay, I guess.
No, I can't feed you.
It actually did sound natural when she said it.
You've seen this guy around town. That's always a classic. No, you're
You might be right,
one of my
Andrew.
favorite comedians that I get shy around people that I respect a lot.
Good save.
And
Good save. Good save.
and I look mean, but I'm nice. I usually have to clarify that. I'm nicer than I seem.
Let me clarify. As someone who has the same. People think that I'm unapproachable, but just because I have a presence, people are like, "Oh, I thought you're mean." I'm so nice to everybody there, but everyone looks at me like I might attack them.
Yeah, you're like the Grinch. Your heart's so big, but people are scared of you.
I've never attacked anybody there. I've never yelled at anybody. I've complained about other headliners, but never about staff. And then I said one night to Logan, I said, "Log Dog." What really happened was Logan said something to the effect of like, "You guys don't even know my name." And I said, "Logan Guntzelman." And Logan said, "Oh," and then she literally goes, "Oh, wow." Thinking I didn't know who she was.
Well, but you left out a key part. What happened was you and Mark Maron were having a fake. I think it was fake, but you were selling it well. A fake yelling fight in the parking lot.
I think that's
awesome.
how Mark Maron just communicates.
And you had said you were like that. You had said that he doesn't really pay attention to what's going on around him. And to prove your point correctly, you were very much in the right. You said, "I bet you don't even know her name." And I was working the back door. And you pointed at me, and he said he did not know my name. And then you said my name, and then you said, "She's also a Jew like you." And since then, Mark, in his way, has been nicer to me. So thank you.
Another thing Andrew's done.
Yeah, he just doesn't blow cigar smoke in your face.
No, he still does that 100% more, honestly, more.
Well,
He's
maybe
really
that's how he
leaning
shows
into
attention,
yeah. But
Yeah, I do remember. I said, "I bet you don't even know." And I kind of wanted to make a monetary bet because he was being real bold, and I thought I wanted to be a dick and be like, "You know what? I'll bet you $1,000 that you have to give to her if you don't know her name." But then
Man.
he would have gotten more mad at me if I made him look stupid and then pay you money.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, it went
just said,
perfectly
"You don't know her
well.
name." So not only do I know your name, I think you're very funny, Log. In fact, well, you know what we should do?
What?
I should try to coordinate to see if Log can do a show with us sometime because I think she's very funny.
That would be awesome.
And now that the mutual respect is there and she knows I'm a sweetie pie, next time I see you, Log Dog, you gotta go, "What's up, Santino?" That's all I want is a "What's up, Santino?"
I'll say, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if my voice can deliver "What's up, Santino" in a natural
Let's try
way.
it right now.
Okay.
You see him walk by. You're at the back door.
Okay.
He
Here
walks
I am.
by. He gives you a finger gun, probably.
Oh,
No, Luke, don't do this, Luke. Don't be Luke right now.
what's up, Santino?
Oof.
Oh, yuck.
Can I just go,
Man, Logan,
hello?
is everything okay? I love you all very much.
Thank you for calling, and thank you for the.
I'm
for
sorry
getting the
about
good
your
friends
computer.
money, or bad friends money.
It's okay. No, you know what's going to end up happening is Apple's going to go, "Okay, yeah, no, you can trade it in now, and we'll give you $60 for it." And that'll be, and I'll go, "Just give me the $60. You fucked me off the whole time." I know what's going to happen. It's fine. They win. Steve Jobs, they won. They beat us.
I mean,
They
he's
keep
dead,
beating us.
though.
Yeah.
You can try and sell it at Melrose Mac. I'm sorry not to out myself. I used to work at the Apple store, but sometimes they'll give you more money unless it's important.
You know what's funny? I've tried Melrose Mac before, and they've shut me down a few times, so I don't go back now because they're like, "Oh, we're not in need
Seems
of
like a
this." And I'm
Santino
like,
thing.
Okay, well, no, all right.
I guess they got too many hot
Are
commodity
you're going to be
computers.
here in the main room tonight, right?
I'll be in the main room tonight.
And you're
I
not a
wanna
finger
say
guns
this.
guy?
There's a lot of new door people.
Yeah, one's right here.
Yeah.
Her name's Angie Stroud. She's on the cast too.
Nice to meet
We call
you.
her Big A.
Capital A.
Yeah, or capital A.
I don't know if I like her yet, but I like.
You will. All the new hires are great.
What is she? Which one is she? Which one
She's
does she look like?
the German. She's German.
She's
I'm actually
You're not
not
going to
German.
picture the right person if you think German.
She's German? Luke, Logan, get out of there. Jesus Christ, what are you guys doing, dude? After all, what would your grandparents say? What's this new hire's last name?
Stroud.
Stroud.
Wait, you
It's actually
Oh my-
it's actually from the black side of my family, so it's actually not. I'm not German.
I'm sorry.
at
It's
all.
African American. Wait. Maybe you'll meet her tonight. She'll give you a "What's up, Santino" too.
What's up,
Wait,
Santino?
You know Strauss directly translates to bad Jews.
No, Stroud. Stroud.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Stroud directly translates to bad Jew.
Yep, I
Well.
guess so. Well, if he says
Well,
it,
it's
it must
good
be
if you're.
true.
Are you Jewish?
Miss
Then that's good. Yeah, it makes sense.
Wait, say it
Stroudy,
again.
I can't wait to meet you, Stroudy, in person and say hi to me. Log Dog, I love you to death. Luke, always shown love to Luke. Big hugs and kisses.
Yeah.
Jetski, I can't wait to see you. I'm so proud to be a part of the Door Guy podcast.
We're so proud that you called in. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and
Yeah.
thanks for getting that money to us. We really needed it and appreciate it.
I think some people needed it, but others were like laughing that that idiot just gave us money and we didn't need it. But that's okay.
I don't think anyone was. I just think they're inconsiderate jerks who are immature and don't know how to thank you.
Well, we wanted to do the right thing. We're going to do it again, and it's going to be a hassle this year, and I cannot wait. I love you guys.
Wonderful.
Can't wait to see it.
Bye,
I'll see
Santino.
you guys-
What's up,
I'll see you guys later.
Santino?
Bye, guys.
Bye. Love
Bye.
Love you.
That was a nice chorus of bye. You all get that. That was
Harmonizing.
I saw. So there was this kid who was from France, but he had been born in America, and he was just an audience member, and he came to see a show, and he was outside, and I was kind of covering the back door for Riggins for a second, and he was like, "Wow, this is crazy. I've never been to like L.A. I've never whatever." And Santino was standing outside, and he's like, "Oh my God, I've never seen a famous person before." I was like, "Wow, that's cute." Like he just never had seen a celebrity, and he.
Was this recent?
Yeah, this past week, and he just he was gawking and agog at Santino.
The back door was crazy. I worked back door on Saturday, and it was. I knew it would be like that, but it was worse than I remembered. If that makes sense.
Well, you've been gone for so long.
I've been gone on tour. We've
Yeah.
been playing theaters with thousands of people, and then I came back.
People
back
shouting
door.
your name.
Literally shout. Yeah,
And
living
They
the
don't
dream.
even have you do the back door. They just have
Like
you
even
perform.
with work, also because of seniority, you don't ever really do the back door.
Yeah, you
so
kind of
get a break.
gravitate out of it or
Yeah.
graduate out of it. But Chappelle was in the belly room, and so there was this standby line of 25 at least people, $100 in hand, like all this money, please take my money. We're like, sorry, I can't let you in. They're still standing there all night just in case. And so they're making
man.
small talk with me, and they're like, "So, do you do comedy too?"
That's always my favorite is whenever they're like, "Oh, you do stand up," and they're like, "How long have you been doing it?" And
Yep.
and then you'll be like 10 years,
13
and,
years,
yeah, and
yeah.
then they're like, "Oh wow, like do you get to go up here?" And it's like, no. I just like to be around it. I get no opportunities here whatsoever.
Oh, it was such a long night. Kanye pulled up.
Yeah.
Will.i.am came up. He checked in with me at the back door. I'm like, "What's your last name?" And
What
he's
is
like,
his last name?
Iam.
"Am."
Yeah. Yeah.
But I knew he was coming, and I knew it was him too. But there was no part of. I was like, "There's no way he's checking in with me." I thought he'd be like every other celebrity going through the parking lot.
That's nice. And he was like, "I must be on the list. I'm Will.i.am or something like
Yes.
that." Yeah, that's cool.
And he was very polite. And then I'm like, "All right, have fun.
Yeah.
Get in there."
2-drink minimum.
Yeah, no phone use.
Yeah, I will say I have seen more celebrities in the past week than I have my entire life, mostly from Saturday as well. Like, Kanye was, hanging out at the back door for a second, and, I didn't notice him at first, then I looked down because he's, 5'5", and I was like, oh, my God,
Whoa.
that's Kanye. He was wearing, leggings and, no shoes and stuff, had no
In the
eyebrows.
picture, it looked like he was wearing a plastic shirt. It looked like it was.
Huh.
It was a weirdly a revamped trash bag is kind of how it
Yeah.
looked. But I don't know if that
He's
was
really gone through a journey, hasn't he? That guy? He's really had his ups.
At
and
least it didn't
downs
say
and
white
ups
lives
and
matter. That was a
Yeah.
yeah.
That's actually why you let him. You're like, you know what? Yeah, get on in there.
Get on in there. You're not on the list, but
Yeah.
get on in there.
Yeah,
I like the way you
message.
think.
Yeah, he was my favorite for quite a while.
Oh, I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I
And then
saw-
something happened.
Other celebrity news that's maybe less exciting. I was working the main room and someone on the list was named Jennifer Garner. They had general admission tickets and everyone was freaking out wondering if it was the real Jennifer Garner, and it wasn't. It was just a different Jennifer Garner.
She's like, I
And
get
we
it all
said
the time.
we were
yeah.
like, we were all excited, and she was like, that always happens. I'm sorry to let you down. Because I just wanted to know if I would use a different she's getting everyone everywhere she goes. They're getting amped, going,
Yeah, that's a
Jennifer
bummer.
Garner's
I know
coming.
it.
Jason Lee came in with a entourage. That was, or like,
Yeah, and-
not an entourage, but like a.
And
group
he
of
had
four.
general admission too.
He had general admission too, and yeah, they tipped nicely and got some better seats out of it. That was nice of them.
There we go.
Yeah.
It trips me up when famous people get general admission. I don't understand it. Isn't
Well-
that the point of you getting famous? You don't have to pay for things anymore?
Oh, I see.
Then
mean,
you would just call the club and be like,
Hey, can I get some
can
tickets?
Can I
Yeah.
just come?
Nah, you get general admission, and then your celeb status gets you bumped up for free. That's what you do.
Did you bump them up?
They tipped.
So yeah.
Yeah.
No, they tipped and he went, sit in the back.
He's like, I don't care where you get out of my club. And he's like, but I'm a fan of the Doorcast. I go, doesn't matter. Get out of here.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But he was really chill.
Alex mentioned that like Will.i.am asked for like a special seat, and then he sat in just a completely different seat in the belly for Chappelle, which is like such a power move to be like, I need
Reserve this seat and then not.
No one can sit here. I'm not going to sit here, but no one else can sit here. Yeah.
Ramsey was working a lot that day, and it was his first day alone.
Oh,
and now you
God.
got like all of this entourage coming through, parking there. Chappelle comes in with 2 cars,
God.
plus all the celebs coming
Nightmare,
in.
yeah.
So I jumped in, and it was for working one day in the past month. It was like I felt like I did a little bit of everything. Like
Yeah.
it was good getting back in there.
You got a sampler platter of like work stuff.
Yeah. But by the end of that shift, I never snapped on anybody, but like I definitely didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I was like changing the marquee, and people at that point it's so late. People are so drunk. It's just like, how's the tour? And I'm just like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, you're like the back door is beating it out of me. I'm excited
It's a
about
long
it.
shift,
It is such a long
and it's
shift.
very social.
I
Yeah.
left at 3 a.m. that night. Then
How long did Chappelle do?
I don't know, but he was they were all partying in the back bar, and
Oh,
I
okay.
left.
So he
yeah.
did like not his 3-hour performance or whatever. He did like an hour and what you think?
I think he
so.
went to like 1:30. I was
Was
watching
anyone
a lot
in the
of
room?
it.
Were you in the room for it?
Yeah, he told a story about Chris Riggins that was super funny about like him, like Chris like bringing up Chappelle in San Francisco, and he was like, "Yeah, it was my first time seeing the guy." And he told one of the worst jokes I've ever heard. Ever. Even when he brought me up, it was a smattering of applause. And like, I couldn't even fix how bad the joke was. And he said he got up and at
That's
the
our
top,
Chris.
Shut up, Chris.
Yeah.
he was like, at the top of my set, I said, I've been doing comedy for a long time. And I think that was the worst joke I've ever heard. And Chris was in the back, and it was super fun to see. It was my first time seeing Chappelle live. So.
Was it good? Am I allowed to ask that? Chappelle watches this, right?
Oh,
And listens?
yeah. Everyone
Okay.
Everyone that we mentioned watches this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Something must have happened. I mean, obviously he was joking, but because Chris works with Chappelle all the time now, right? He was
Yeah.
just in
Some,
the
yeah,
Bay.
pretty irregularly.
But that's how
but
Chris
yeah.
started stand up. Is he just knew? I don't want to tell Chris's
No, tell
origin
his origin
story
story.
incorrectly, but he was just a funny
Well,
guy that Chappelle
embellish a
knew. Chris was cleaning Chappelle's shoes. And then they became friends. No, he was a guy Chappelle knew who Chappelle thought was funny, and then was like, "Why don't you do sets?" And that's how Chris
No,
started.
it's-
I think.
Yeah.
So it's Dave's fault.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and he was complimentary of him in the end and everything, but he did rag on him for a minute. And I didn't
Good,
know that
yeah.
they knew each other.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
How was the whole thing? Did you watch a lot of it?
I watched a lot of it.
You learn at the feet of the master.
I was a little surprised that he still was talking about like drama from The Closer. Like
He is upset.
Yeah.
He is obsessed with his own drama and won't move off it.
Yeah, and I've noticed
Disappointing.
that a lot. Like, you know, just like big comedians still like focusing on like the negativity that they're getting when it's like you're such a big comedian that like the store can even advertise that you're coming because so many people come to see you. Like we're all here to see you. We don't care about like one guy that doesn't like you.
Yeah, sure.
you
The
know?
anonymous internet people that you say don't pay any attention to and then keep paying attention to.
Yeah.
Do the jokes. We love you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's been like that for a while. It's like you want to hear his take on other things.
Yeah.
I mean, his last special was like a response to the people's response to his last special. What are we doing?
Well, but I also think some big deal comedians, not all of them, but a lot, like a big part of why they got into comedy, or at least once they've achieved success, is no one has ever told them you can't say something. Like they sort of get off on like, I can talk about anything. So as soon as someone is like, you can't talk about this, that it really sticks in their craw or whatever. Like they can't let that go. And it's like, you could talk about so many other things. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think that some people, I think Chappelle has surrounded himself with a lot of yes men who all wear his C and like really are, you know, his guys. And then he gets heard yes. All he hears is yes all the time. So when internet comments are like, that kind of hurts my feelings or whatever, or, you know, even ruder than that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those horrific internet comments where they
That
go,
guy
hey, that hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
I wish I got that.
Hey, don't. Yeah, please don't. Please. But if like they hear no, and it's just, that's jarring, I guess. If you've been hearing yes so much, and you're the greatest, and you're the goat, and you're the greatest, and you're the goat, and then it's like,
But I would just think as a comedian that you'd want to talk about other stuff. Like, that there would be other things in your life that you'd be like, oh, I have a thought about that. I want to try and turn into a joke, as opposed to like, you know, constantly responding to or focusing on the same
well,
thing.
so, I mean, like a lot of his experiences. What are we going to relate to him hanging out with Will.i.am? And like, you know, it's like
Will.i.am seems pretty cool based on what
Yeah,
you guys
I
said.
would-
Maybe
I
it's
would
really
relate.
cool. Yeah.
I know
But
him
like
now.
people are gonna relate to the stories, you know what I mean? I think it was Chris Rock said like you're always funnier when you ride the bus. Like so he's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
he's a bajillionaire. Like I don't relate to that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hung out with Guam for a while, they could take the bus together, and then maybe they
Yeah.
would work on.
That'd be good.
Like a
Material.
Freaky Friday
Guam would-
situation.
Yeah,
Guam would
Guam
eat
and
himself to
Chappelle
death
switch.
in
Oh
a
my
minute.
god.
In a year, Guam would be dead of just overconsumption of everything.
Imagine Guam going up like late night belly room, closing out a show during check drop.
Everyone's coming. Yeah, everyone comes to see him. They just love him.
Well, they don't know it's Chappelle, so it'd just be.
I think everyone every time assumes it's Chappelle, and then it's been like Maz Jobrani, and people are like, okay.
No, because then they would all go to see Chappelle in like an amphitheater, and Guam would be Guam like humping the stool,
Yeah.
doing cunnilingus to the mic
threatening
stand.
sexual assault on the audience members.
Wait, can
That
I?
would be awesome.
Something that is I don't know. I thought this was funny. I was in Sweden. This is not me trying to hand
Oh yeah,
this
you were in
in.
the Scandinavian.
I was in
countries.
Sweden, and I went to. It was you could do Swedish or English comedy, but everyone was doing comedy in Swedish. So obviously, I was sitting in the back, being like, I don't understand a word of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it was their version of a late night show where some people were starting to filter out, and then
Yeah.
the host said a bunch of stuff in Swedish, and then said Dave Chappelle, and the audience laughed. And I asked someone I was with, I was like, did he just say that they should stay because Dave Chappelle might show up? And he was like, yeah. So even in other places beyond here, that's a universal. Everyone stay because you never know.
No, Dave
Dave
Chappelle.
Chappelle might show up. Yeah.
I wonder if he's ever dropped in on a show in Sweden or whatever.
Well, because he's toured internationally,
Yeah,
right?
he's definitely done international tours, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, that would be the coolest part about being like a really famous comic. Just be like, hey, can I get 5 minutes, or like, can I do a 20-minute set real quick? And everyone would be like, yeah,
Yeah, it would help the show.
that's great.
Except for apparently Aziz Ansari went to some club where he asked to do a set in London, and then didn't show up, and then came the next night, and the owner of the club was like, no.
you fucked us up
Yeah.
last night. So
And everyone was excited about it. This is also another story that I'm repeating stories I've heard. So am I spreading gossip that has
you're
no
spreading lies
foundation in
and
reality?
slander for sure.
Okay. Well, as the editor of an important newspaper, I feel badly, but
Oh yeah, we got some Door Guy dailies coming out.
yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, we're only a few months behind.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Everyone expected that.
yeah.
And
wait, what?
everyone's happy when they come out. There was another oversold show in the Belly Room. There was a West Hollywood Brunch, Justin Martindale's show.
Oh, that's
that
a
was,
good
like,
problem to have, right?
That was like oversold, and people were like trying to get it. Like it was just like, wow, on a Wednesday.
Was that show around before the lockdown? Is it because I heard somebody say it's come back. So I assumed it used to be
I think
around.
he just doesn't have a schedule that he makes for it. He just does it whenever.
Okay.
So I think
This is
that's
the
what
first
it's
time
been.
I feel like I've been aware of it, but also it could have happened a time I wasn't working.
Yeah, I also feel like you're not the most aware.
Yeah, that's as soon as I said that, I was like, I don't ever look at the schedule
Yeah.
until I come to work.
Yeah.
I'm just flying blind.
They weren't
so-
even talking Swedish at that
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
You're just like,
It
I don't
sounds
understand
so
it.
much like English. I was like, am I just like incredibly drunk? And I just can't understand English anymore. But that show is oversold. He was supposed to go up in the main room.
Yeah, and it fucked up the whole timing of everything, and then
Yeah.
everyone got mad, and then
Oh, that was Saturday night,
and
wasn't
then
it?
Santino had a thing with like the sound guy, and he was like, he's like, Justin Martindale might be next, but he's like, just put me next, man.
Oh,
I'm here, and I want to go, and then we're like,
I
it was an
also
issue.
too, because Justin was upstairs hosting that show the whole time, and I was up there just talking to someone in the green room, and then
what room were you working? The main room?
I was working in the main room.
Yeah.
But I took a.
Gotcha.
I
You
went.
both were.
Well, I was covering Riggins at back door.
That's so funny
I
though,
went
because
up-
I talked to you guys for so long in the main room lobby, so that's how I know you were both working the main room.
We were both in the main room, and I was up there for a long time looking at different weed that someone was offering me.
Wow.
And
It sounds like you're creating an alibi on the spot.
Oh, shout out Glazer's after party.
yeah, I was up there because Glazer had an
that's a
actual.
great show.
He
Michael
had a
Glazer's
duffel
after
bag of
party.
weed, so
Yeah.
I was going through
my
it and just
God.
looking at all the stuff
well,
we had.
You walked up to Mike. You're like, I forgot my weed today. Do you have any like indica? And Mike was like, flour? Because I think I have some flour. I might have pens and edibles.
He had also, I just want to say,
and we're like, oh, yeah. She was like, yeah, that works. It's like
That's
fucking
all of
every
them.
option.
yeah, I did ask for sativa. I just want to.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh,
I mean, I just don't want to paint a different picture of me as a
Whoa.
person.
Yeah, you're a real
Well,
energetic
live wire.
person.
Set the record straight.
Yeah. No, but so then I had an embarrassing moment with Justin because Justin said, he was like, the whole thing's fucked up and I've been up here, so I'm exhausted. I don't even think I'm going to go up. And so then I was like, oh, if you don't go up, like that's totally fine. Everyone working, it's just one show tonight. So I'm sure everyone would like love to be done a little bit earlier. And he's like, well, I
Was
might.
it one show or two shows?
It was one.
Oh yeah, it was the Wednesday one show.
It was
That's
one
right,
show.
Right.
But then, and so we were like, we would all, be happy to go home a little bit earlier. He was like, well, I might go up. And I was like, well, we all love your comedy, so we'd be happy with that as well. And I was like trying to.
Logan with the saves all day. You think she's painted herself into a corner, but then Santino goes, nice save.
Thank you so much. But
Yeah.
And he did go up.
Yeah, he did. How'd he do? The best.
Yeah.
Was that also the Lisa Traeger was on that show? Lisa had such a fucking awesome set.
Oh, she
the
rocks.
other day.
She's so
She's
funny.
like good all the time, but
Yeah.
like really just home run connected with this. And then like after was like, I felt really bad about that. And I was like, are you fucking stupid? That was awesome. And she was like, nah. And I was like, shut the hell up. That was great.
I opened that show and it was really tough coming from the theaters and then cold opening the main room.
Yeah.
In the theater
You don't cold open, do you?
I do, but in the theater, people are already sat, or at least like 80%
Yeah,
sat.
and
a
there's
lot of
no
them know you.
servers.
There's no server.
And
Yeah.
they like know who you are.
It's
So people know
It's
who
a better
I
way
am.
of doing comedy for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just very different. And so I came out here, and the sound guy who I do love, but he's like, how's everybody doing? And then it was like a smattering of applause. And he's like, yeah, that sounds like Wednesday. Here's your first comic. And I walk out and I go, who here's first time at the Comedy Store? And literally 70% of the crowd at least raised their hand. It's like, feel free to make noise.
Yeah. Well, what I say when I do, because I was like, round of applause, whose first time is it at the Comedy Store?
I guess I'll have to do that.
Because they don't know. They'll go, me,
Especially, they're
was
the
so polite.
exact people who wouldn't know because it's their first time. They might be
That's
like,
right.
I guess we're
I don't think
supposed
they'd
to.
ever been to a comedy show. And then I told one joke, and this guy in the front was like,
Snapping like it was
like,
chat.
what
Yeah.
is this room? So laid back. But it was fun.
How big are the theaters you were playing?
They range from 2,000 to 4,000.
Yeah.
So it's
She's
been
so
more
big time she doesn't even say the full 1,000.
Yeah.
She
2
just
to
says
4.
2 to 4.
2K, 4K, yeah,
2
sure.
to 4 people. It's just
Yeah.
us in a room.
And it's like you can just go up and perform, but when I did a set in the Belly Room last week too, and I forgot how much fun that room is
Mm-hmm.
because
That first Belly Room show was so good. I was working sound.
Oh,
on
yeah.
that one. Yeah.
yeah, that
It was
was
a
nice.
really fun show.
Yeah,
you were on it too.
I did my first cold open at that show.
You opened it so strong,
Yeah.
and
Thank you.
I knew I could see Logan from the stage, like you can see everybody, and you can really connect with people, and it's like you can be loose. Like I had no plan in my head, I just went and hung out with everybody and told my jokes, and it was really fun.
And it's also too weirdly like because there were some shows, not the up next show that night was
Garbage.
not great.
Yeah, that one was totally different.
It's so weird. I wish there was like a way to kind of figure out because sometimes. Like the small crowd at the last Up Next show was so good. Like, and
People say
even though
there's
it was
no
small,
such thing
they
as
had
a bad crowd, and there is.
there is like, but it was like this crowd was bigger than that other smaller crowd. But because it's a smaller room, like it was still fun. The other show
There was that racist heckler in the front who
Yes.
kept trying to literally stand up and tell Chris Riggins jokes while he was on stage, and Jen went up and was like, "You need to stop."
Yeah,
Jen, the manager?
Yeah,
she was.
She
up
was
there.
in the room.
and then also
Who was working the room? You were?
It was me.
Well-
but then it got to the point where every time he talked, I would just yell "no" from the back.
Squirt him with the spray bottle.
I would shake a container of pennies at him, and he would
Can of
sort of-
screws.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But no, it was that difficult thing with when it's kind of a heckler, but they're interacting with the comedians
Yeah.
talking to them. So you
Wow.
never, and that
Yeah.
happens when we're working also, where you're
Yeah.
like, what is the line where you go over and go, you have to stop? Because
Yeah.
they'll be like, they're talking to me. It's usually
and
a
then
girl
a lot of the
who's-
time, and you're going to kick them out, and the headliner will be like, "No, they're being fine. No, don't kick them out." And you're like,
yeah.
"They've been a problem the whole goddamn show."
Yeah.
I heard him get another joke. It was probably 10 minutes into the set, and I heard him order another one, but he was quiet my whole set. And I couldn't stop myself, and I was like, I heard him get another one. I don't think that's a good idea. And people laughed, and I immediately moved on to something else.
Yeah.
Before he could hear.
Before
I
he
don't
could
want to
even
invite
process.
it in. But-
Because it's also like, I feel like everyone who does stand up has a sickness where once they know who the person everyone's doing crowd work with or who everyone hates, they also want to get their like jabs in. But then as soon as you open that door, you're like, everyone has shown not to interact with
right.
this person.
Yeah. I
Why,
can't do my
why
jokes.
am I doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first day, there was a guy sitting at the stage in the main room, and he had like a giant scar on his head. And he was just yelling out like random things at the comedians, but they were also kind of talking back. And it was my first day, so I was like watching, but I was like, it seems like it'd be so awkward to take someone out from the stage of the main room where everyone's
It's a lot of the
watching.
time that's who we have to take out is people who buy stage seating because they want to be part of the show.
They feel
Yeah.
entitled.
And yeah, because they paid more, and they're like, "Well, I am front row. I've seen one movie about comedy. This is how it is. I can yell at them, and it'll be fun."
That was you were there. It was like maybe the first or second week I ever worked. A guy that we had to kick out at the stage came out, or I told him and his girlfriend to be quiet. I came
Yeah.
back out into the main room lobby.
Oh, yeah,
and
and
he
he
came out to
followed,
me,
and he was, like, trying to
"Do you-"
square up.
He was like, "Do you want to step outside?" And it was a funny moment where I looked at Luke and I was like, "Me?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "No, I don't want to. You're a man. I don't want to fight you."
But it's like, even if you were like, "Why you want to fight me?" Like,
He's
this
like-
is the reason
Yeah.
why we kicked you out, man.
I know.
Was that the guy who was like, "I do MMA"? Like,
Well, he kept
He's like,
saying
would
he
you
was-
like me to kick your ass?
Yeah.
yeah,
He
and,
kept
and
saying
Ryan
he was-
came in, I think,
well, he
or
was-
someone.
He's from the Inland Empire, and he kept
Yes.
mentioning the Inland Empire as
Yeah.
if that was something that would
Tough. That's
intimidate
cool.
us. And then him and his girlfriend got kicked out, and she was crying so loud that on Sunset that we could hear it in the
You
showroom.
had to like
still.
close the doors.
Yeah.
Like she's
domestic
someone check
bliss.
on her. Yeah. She's not safe.
And he said that they were going out that day to celebrate that his girlfriend had gotten a master's degree
Oh my God.
And he was absolutely covered in neck tattoos. And look, so many people can be educated. There's no, I don't want to be like stereotypes, but the more he talked, I was like, nobody got a degree. That's not why you guys are out celebrating. That's not what's happening. I could see why he wanted to fight me. I didn't say that to him, but I was like, that's not why you guys are out.
Yeah, no, it's just like, no, we don't want to fight. We want you to be quiet.
Was that during the lockdown? Or like when we were getting out of the lockdown?
It was like people were still wearing masks inside.
Yeah.
But it's also...
maybe I don't remember that. Maybe I'm remembering a different...
I did want to bring that up. That's funny you kind of got there naturally because with all these new people here, you just like, 4 or 5 new hires?
5.
5, and I've been gone so long, so from my perspective coming back, it feels like there's a lot of change in a good way, but it just reminded me when I started working, you were the only female door guy, and then I joined at the time, and we had to bag every phone.
She hadn't come back yet,
No.
I don't think.
So it's just us. So now it's cool. There's so many women working here, and at that time we had to bag every phone in these like plastic bags that we throw away at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So much
And
waste.
We had to ask everyone to put their mask on, even if they're just walking to the bathroom. It was just a different time.
I think you kept the mask on at the table too for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
For a while.
Bag every phone for like not recording reasons.
Yeah, we put them in these, they were like mailing, they were
mailers, they're
mailers, like what
yeah.
you'd send like a catalog or what you'd get something from Etsy and like with
Like
bubble.
Yeah.
So,
padded, yeah.
but it was, so we'd put it in and then seal it, but they could just rip it open. Like it was not a good system. And then
But
they
I
would
mean,
leave
if
them
we
all
did
over the table.
Yeah, but if we did see them like any phone in the room, we'd be like, "Oh, that's not allowed," and we'd go up to them and be like, "So you ripped it open, didn't you?"
Yeah.
So you're a bad boy. Get out of here.
But what I never understood, like the people who are just openly disobeying and like are filming, that's one group of people. But the people who like, we say not to use their phones and they're just sitting there texting, I'm like, just go in a bathroom stall. Like you can, or like the people openly like vaping or anything like that. I'm like, you could do all of this in the bathroom and nobody will care.
Yeah.
Like
I tell people to step out, and the part of my spiel is like, hey, if you want to talk or text or anything, step out, step back in. We don't care as long as you just no talking, no texting in the room. But like I'll walk by people and I'll go.
You shame them?
I get them a little tut, and they go, huh? And they put it away.
do you ever give them like a no,
Matumbo?
no,
no, not really. I just go, put your phone away. Just like in the crowd, and they're like, oh god.
People they take it so personally. Some people when you ask them to do something. When I was working backdoor, I
Not
had
everyone
this
has a
huge,
great, a healthy relationship with their parents.
Yeah, it does feel like something else is going on.
Absolutely,
That's like
everyone has
directed.
their own story.
When I worked back there, I had a big line for that to seat that Chappelle show, and so I wanted to keep that walkway clear on the other side. So anybody who was hanging out there, I'd ask them, "Hey, can you please just go to the front patio?" This lady was like, "I'm trying to smoke." And I was like, "Oh, well, you can smoke out up front." I was like really shocked at her reaction. And her boyfriend like kind of was like, "It's okay," and like took her. And it's just
There's
like,
always one
just
person in the
happened.
couple that's like,
Embarrassed.
sorry about them.
Yeah, they're always like
I always
this.
feel bad when
it
it's
can be
like
man or woman or either. Yeah.
when it's like one of them is like the
In a
drunker
head cis couple.
problem.
Yeah.
And that I'm always curious if like this is a one-time thing. Do you know like that they've lost their mind at a comedy show, or every time they go out it's a production where one of them
A lot of the time, it's God, she's doing it again.
Yeah.
And like I have seen several breakups here because of how people were acting in a showroom. That like there's a fight outside, and then like one person is like crying and stays, and the other person
the wife of
storms
the
off.
guy that pissed on the floor. I don't know if you remember the guy who
Oh,
pissed on the
shit.
main room floor.
Yeah.
Didn't she just walk away from it?
Oh man.
Was that the guy who
What?
pissed in his seat?
Yeah, he was first. They got mad at him, I think, because he was on his phone.
Is that the one that Ryan made clean up his
No,
mess, or-
that's
No.
the guy I found peeing
But-
on the wall outside.
But this
No,
guy,
there was another pee on the wall.
a lot of
RP
people. This
that
guy,
Ryan,
like
yeah, while you
someone
were
from
gone.
That's awesome.
from another table
Ryan makes him
complained,
clean up.
and they were like,
Or he
"Hey,
puked, I
he's
think.
peeing under the table." Like they were like, so it was a really drunk guy who.
Just pissed his pants.
No, he like took out his
peed.
dick and was just full on peeing.
But he was still sitting down.
But he was still sitting down.
It was in the main room. Like if this is the stage, it was all the way on the
Killed
right.
this guy.
Yeah.
Well, he did.
kill
I
this
think.
man.
I think that's ultimately what happened once he was off the property of the Comedy Store. He got
He got spoken to.
with with
With
fists.
hands.
Yeah, I was a little less delicate than I was putting it. Yeah, sure.
When I got to work on Saturday, before I even clocked in, Ben Branford, one of the new door guys, was Brandfin.
It's a weird name.
Sorry, Felicia's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
his official title is Felicia's
Yeah.
boyfriend.
He was already mopping
Bad
up
Benny.
puke in the OR
Nice.
from like the night before.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because someone puked at the very beginning of the second show, puked silently, and then just walked out of the show.
yeah.
because
Somebody was told. Somebody goes.
pretty pimp move actually.
A real lady, a real gentleman. About it.
Yeah, Chris goes. The guy puked, and then he just left. And then Logan and I look at each other, and they're like, "Yeah,
that's
I would have left."
sit there and watch them clean up.
No. You get out of there very fast.
Yeah.
You're sick.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
And also,
watching
like,
the
you
rest
saw
of
it.
it?
You clean it up,
Yeah.
Chris. What are you
You say,
doing?
and my big night out is over.
Yeah.
Just go to the car.
Could you imagine us throwing up and then watching the rest of the
Yeah.
show?
So you got hired after the pandemic, right?
We both
Or-
did.
Well, I don't know.
You
It
worked
depends
there-
who you ask. But
Yeah.
after the lockdown,
I was the first post-pandemic hire. I know that because my login is just ones in a row because that was their easy way of creating a system.
interesting.
Yeah.
My number makes sense now.
Where, yeah.
Oh yeah. The rest of ours is our social.
Yeah. No.
Really?
Yeah.
So wait, is
One,
Well,
one,
don't-
one.
okay.
Who's gonna
Great.
log in for me?
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
now how many numbers is your?
4.
4.
Yeah, 4.
So this is-
Mine is not that.
yours is how many?
Like I've
I guess you
revealed
can't.
it.
I mean, you already revealed.
Or
it.
do you think you're just?
10 in a row.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because
No, it's not.
Because if you did 4 or you did 10, you'd still get the same.
No, mine is
No.
less than your guys's.
No, Jetski.
Oh.
No, that's not true at all.
Well, if she hit the number 1 10 times but it was only 4, she could still hit enter and it would still
No.
log her in.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because the last you do 6 and then they'd count the last 4.
No.
But mine isn't even 4. Mine isn't even 4.
No.
What is it? 3?
It's more or less.
She said it's less.
So
It's just number 1.
Well,
so it's
in
diff-
the comments,
so it's
post
different
your
now
guess.
is what your point was, Jetski.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
way
if
different.
someone wants to log me in, then I'll actually be on time for work. So actually, that would be
Yeah,
helpful.
that pisses me off. Be on fucking time. It's happened a lot to Logan lately. But so now
I have extenuating circumstances.
that you're surprised at the traffic every time you get in your car. It's still LA. It's every
Yes,
time.
that, and then sometimes I have to come. We can talk about this. I have to come from Torrance sometimes, and it's far,
that is far.
Yeah.
and the traffic's unpredictable. And I'm just bad at budgeting time. You're
That's, yeah. Okay. So it's different. It's way, easier now.
Yeah, it's way easier.
It's way easier to
It's
work
always
here.
packed. I've been back 7 days. I've been here 5 of those days. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love it here, but yeah, it's different. I walked up. Richie goes, "Oh look, another former door guy," and I'm like, "I still work here. I've been gone for longer than I thought."
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're a dad now.
I'm not a dad
Yeah,
yet.
well, you are though.
I'm an
You-
expectant father.
You were born a dad.
Yeah.
I was born this dad.
You were born that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got these new people here.
Mm-hmm.
The-
Are you going to smoke a cigar the day your child is born?
I doubt it.
Are you going to smoke a CBD
While
cigarette?
holding the.
I doubt that too.
Let's split one when your baby's born.
We'll talk about it.
Jess is going to be in the delivery room, right?
No. Angie, you've been working here 2 weeks?
I think this is my 3rd week. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Around there.
How has it been?
It's
What have we learned?
It's been good. I auditioned for like most of April, and then interviewed on a Friday and started working that Saturday. So I kind of just got right in, and it's definitely my day job is like work from home, like office like stuff. So I haven't done customer service in a while, and so it has been an adjustment being like, I have this jacket on so I can tell you what to do. And people also, finding out that some people really do not like when you tell them where to sit.
Oh
No.
yeah.
No.
No, they don't.
It's amazing.
You find your way of telling them.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah. So it depends on the night. If it's a slow night and someone's like, "Can I sit over here?" I go, "Yeah." Or if it's a sold out night, sometimes I go, "Yeah, you could sit there," and then I just fill it in around them.
Yeah.
But if like they look, you know, if they're like, can we please sit over here? I go, this is a good seat. You're just gonna sit here. Okay.
Even sometimes I'll like point out, be like, your seat's over there, and they'll be like, okay, and just sit exactly where we're standing, and I'll be like, no.
That was one thing
Well, you have to
I had
walk
to.
them
You
to
have
the
to. You have
seat.
to like. I would have to watch until they
sit.
sit down. Like I would like
Absolutely.
lead them to their table
because
and think
they
I did
also
my job.
Move chairs all around. You
Yeah.
go, no, we're just gonna leave the chairs there. You're gonna sit at the table. It's gonna
Or
be a
also
good show.
so often, especially like early people, the first like row of 4-seat tables right behind the stage. That I would walk general admission, so they didn't have stage
In what
tickets.
room are you
In the main room,
Yeah.
I would walk them up to the tables that are right next to the stage, and I would go, "You're gonna sit right here." And I'd come back and they'd be sitting at the stage, thinking that like, well, I've gotten this far.
Mm-hmm.
She probably is fine with it if I go all the way to the stage. So then I had to,
Hey, stand up.
yeah,
Move.
I'd be like, that's not where I said. That's not where I said. You have to move. And that kind of feels good sometimes.
It's very weird to, you know, be an adult and then tell other adults, no.
Yeah, I guess I just realized I came in thinking that some things were self-explanatory that are not
It's
self-explanatory.
everyone's,
at all.
a lot of the time, like it's 90% of the people's first time ever at the Comedy Store. And of those people, it's probably like 40 or 50% of their first comedy show ever.
Yeah.
So you really got to like answer a lot of questions before they get asked. You got to tell them all the things up top, and you're gonna get dumb questions. You just have to be prepared with.
Whenever
a lot of
anyone's
answers.
like, "Are there bathrooms inside?" I'm always like, "No."
No,
You have to pee in and out. No, like in my head, I'm like, "What establishment have you
That's
been
why
to?"
these guys are peeing in the dumpster,
Yeah.
and I'm working.
That's Logan's fault.
Logan's sarcasm.
Damn it. But then, like, you know, I'll tell people at the beginning where the bathrooms are, and then people will come up and be like, where are the bathrooms?
No
I go,
one ever listens.
And I go, where do you think they are? In
Yeah,
any
you
place.
used to do-
They're in
I don't know
the
if you
back.
still do that
Go to the back of any room, of any establishment. The bathrooms are not at the front near the stage.
They're not
I
behind
also
the
usually am
curtains.
like, look for the neon signs that say men and women.
Yeah.
Usually, you're pretty close to the bathrooms
Yeah.
if you see those.
Yeah.
And they just, but I also, it's like we take for granted that even before working here, we came here all the time and that we know how comedy shows work
Right.
and that like, it is sort of a weird maze if you don't know
yeah.
what
Oh,
the
it's
layout
absolutely
is.
a weird maze. Yeah, and like, there's weird steps, and people trip every night.
I trip and I
Yeah.
know where the steps are and I trip constantly.
Yeah, again, Logan, pay more attention, please.
You notice too, going to other comedy clubs, how much their staff does. Like that's something since I worked here that I'm like, oh. There's like my friend. We went to Stand Up Live when we were on the road, and my friend was with me, and she was like, "What if someone just snuck in here?" And I was like, "They could, but if they sat anywhere, there's all their staff would be like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, it really is like a tight ship, and most comedy clubs work that way.
We
which is
kick
kinda
out
cool.
people all the time. And we go, did you seat Mitzi's? And we're like, no. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, they must be trying to go to the belly room.
It's
Someone
so
didn't-
obvious to tell who's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, but it is an interesting phenomenon. How old are you, Angie?
I am turning 23 this week.
Wow.
On
Whoa.
Friday.
Okay, well, happy birthday. But it's interesting to tell like a 45-year-old what to do.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like you having the authority in this situation is.
Yeah, especially my first day, I was sitting in the back in the main room. It was great just being able to like be like watching comedy, and I was really excited to just be like, oh my god, I'm here, and everyone got seated and stuff. And this guy the guy from the stage, the guy with the scar, he like came to the back and he was just standing next to me, and he was like, "So you're the bouncer?"
You're like, yeah, bitch.
I was just like, and then like someone like came up and he was in all black too, so they asked him where the bathroom was, and
That's
he
hilarious.
pointed to the green room, and she went, and I like wasn't exactly sure what was going on. I was like, you need to like be quiet, like go back to your seat and stuff, and he was like, what, are you having a bad day? And then I just got to a point where like he was just talking to me, and I was just like, I'm just gonna pretend like he's not here and see if he goes away, and he did eventually. But he was like, yeah, I'm not the most like, hey, you can't be here.
I'm
Like,
not either.
yeah.
I found little tricks. Like if it's somebody like that where immediately I know there's not going to be a winning in this situation, I will just go and get a security guard or like
Yeah.
a door guy.
I'll get another. Sometimes like, it's to pressing, but it is still a gendered thing where people kind of treat me like
Absolutely.
a librarian.
Yeah.
Where like I'll
Yeah.
tell them to be quiet and they're just like, this bitch. So I'll get another door guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll get a security guard, or like if someone didn't listen to my warning the first time, then the second time a security guard seems more official, or like
Absolutely.
half of it is like if you spot
And
people doing stuff
people are
wrong, you
gonna
can
be
always
such
get
creeps.
another.
I feel really bad for.
Yeah.
women
But
in
there's
this
certain
building
things
a lot
that
of the time.
only
I'm
you can
sorry.
do that like would be less appropriate for Luke to do. You know, if there's like a woman in the bathroom who's drunk and you need to check her boyfriend's like, can you check on him? That's happened to me before. It's like, well, Luke's not gonna go in there. Like we're a team here, so there's certain things you can do better than others, and other people can do better. So it's like you don't
Yeah.
have to pick every battle.
Like if you feel
Yeah, no,
weird
that's
doing
why-
that, you can
Yeah.
always find a workaround, like she's saying. You don't have to be the
Get a-
only
Or
get
tell a
coworker.
manager. I
Yeah.
love doing that too, because they're always
Yeah.
like, I was always like doing things wrong on accident. Like I would escalate things by just trying. So you know, like you need to delete those pictures, and then someone like got so pissed that I said that they stormed out, and Richie was like, "Well, you need to get a manager if you ever see someone with a phone," which I thought was ridiculous. But now I just do that.
No, as soon as they
Go get
cry
Richie.
manager, I'm like, great, not
Yeah.
my problem anymore. Fantastic.
The HR department.
Yeah.
Here's Richie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he will rather
You think
just
I'm
handle
bad?
it.
Wait till you meet
Yeah.
my general manager. Who will probably call you a few slurs and then want to fight you.
I went to flag football yesterday, organized by Richie.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, how
was
was
that?
Oh, it was great. I came pretty late because I was here late Saturday, so like noon felt, like a stretch. So I should have been one, and it was fun. Yeah, just seeing them do it, and I got on the field for like 10 minutes. But yeah, it was fun seeing like how seriously they were all taking it. Like so many injuries. I think
That's why I
Willie.
did not.
Yeah, so many injuries so fast.
I also
Yeah.
see them as
It's-
like
it's also,
sweet,
like-
good-natured. Like, obviously, when they kick people out, sure, I see a little bit of animosity, but so many of the door guys here, I'm like, they're just like my funny friends,
Oh,
and
no,
I'm like,
we're
I don't
all,
want to
like,
see them
very
fighting.
angry.
No.
And also, like, not a lot of us are coordinated.
No.
I imagine the
No.
field there was like a clown college.
Oh my god. Hugo, like when he would run, he'd have just like the deadest face. Like you could tell he just never.
Yeah, Hugo doesn't seem like an athlete to me. Nice guy.
He's a dancer.
We're artists. We're all artists.
Yeah. That's not our skill set.
Sure, Richie shows highlights of his own playing in like his adult league to people off his phone. If you haven't gotten cornered with that one, he goes, "Look at this."
I didn't
And
know
it's
he
just
played
him
in
on his
an
own
adult
phone.
league.
Oh yeah, he's got a lot. Somehow he has a lot of time on his hands. I don't understand. Probably because he's a bad father. You guys, this has been a really good episode.
Clip it. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks everybody for coming on. Angie, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Angie STRO and on Twitter at Angie Takes Miami.
Interesting.
Is that a reality show you have in the works? Or is that just...
No, I've actually never been to Miami, but one of these old days. One of these old days.
One of these old days. That phrase. One of these old days, I'll go to somewhere I named my after.
Logan,
it has like a very AIM vibes on that screen name of like, but you never. I'm sure you never were on that. You guys had screen
Yeah.
names.
Oh,
yeah.
That's like Angie Takes Miami is very like AIM.
But the
VH1.
I is a 1.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Logan, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram at Places I Took a Shit This Year.
Yeah.
And
Also very,
Makes me
very
laugh
cool.
every
Yeah. Well, it's the stupidest thing in the world.
my boyfriend said that when he first saw it, we hadn't gone on a date yet, but he like looked me up to see and he went, yikes. And he was like, no, you turned out to be cool, but that was a turnoff for sure. And then
That's speaking of filter. That is a filter of like if people can get past that, then
Yeah.
they can date you or whatever.
and then is Twitter, is it going
What
to
is
die
Twitter?
soon? But
I don't know. Twitter's feeling very weird, and Instagram's feeling more and more like Facebook every day to me, where it's
Yeah.
just like it's kind of like old people.
I don't
and
even-
everything is there. It's weird.
Twitter, it's at
Twitter's fun.
a dirty Gunts, and
So
TikTok, which is now my third one because I've been banned twice, is Places I Took a Shit again. So none of them are the same.
It's great branding. Jeffrey, where can people find you?
I'm on all social media at Jetski Johnson.
That's how you brand.
And I'm headlining Irvine Improv on July 12th. And I'm going to be in Bakersfield headlining, but in July. But I don't remember what.
Oh, I'm going to be in Denver June 2nd and 3rd. Just because you did it, I'm going to do it too.
Yeah, and
I'm going to be in Denver.
Where can people find you is exactly
This
where.
is Logan, place that took a shit this year. I'm going to be in Denver.
Oh, you
June
think
2nd
they
and
mixed
3rd.
up our voices?
Yeah. In case you can't tell, this is Logan Guntzelman.
I have had complaints that's like, I've had 3 women on before, and then people are like, I can't tell who's talking. And it's like, well, I don't know. People are misogynist. It's great. It's a really great world we live in, and I'm sorry, everybody.
Well, thanks for having us on, Logan.
Thank you for apologizing.
No problem. And I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I swear to God, you can find me there.
It's just help, 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 help.
4 helps on
4
Instagram. Help. Yes. And shout out to my hot ass wife. It's our 3rd year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3rd anniversary this year. Yeah, thank you. And I don't have many gigs coming up because I'm doing a little bit of stand-up less because I'm expecting a child.
Your biggest gig is fatherhood
Yes.
coming up soon.
That's true. Yeah.
Headlining.
And, I'm headlining.
Yeah, you're headlining
Headlining fatherhood.
Featuring your wife
Near
as the
Beverly,
mom.
La Brea. Yeah.
Baby cold open.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure I'm forgetting something. We'll see you next time at the door. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.